And happy November 28th, 2020. For those of you that celebrated Thanksgiving this last week, happy Thanksgiving. I hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone that's watching, no matter where you're at, I hope you're doing well this morning. Let me know in the comments if you can hear me. Hit that like button if you can hear me. Let me know in the comments. So you'll notice a few changes here this morning. So I did change the title bar down below over here. There's a little Christmas tree since we're coming into the Christmas season. Logo is down here in color. And then, as always, I would like to thank Lenovo for sending me this machine that we use to do the live streaming. So, how is everybody doing this morning? Let me know if you can hear the stream. I'm not getting any feedback in the chat yet. So, I think that you can hear me, but I'm not 100% sure. Hit that like button. Okay, Matt says it sounds good. Alonzo says loud and clear. Whew, I was starting to get nervous that you couldn't hear me. So, all right. So what we're going to talk about today is, I know you've seen other gift guides. Joe Trelli over at Cajoling Tech did a really good gift guide. So I am not monetizing this list at all. This I will later tonight. I will go ahead and edit the video, and I will put links into what we're talking about, but none of them are affiliate links. I'm just going to kind of show you this. So just have a little bit of an open conversation. You know, this time of year when there are specials and stuff, that's usually when I buy the bulk of my tools, unless I need, you know, something middle of the year, because you can get really good deals this time of year on tools. So that's one thing that we are going to look at here this morning. Hey, Unky Joe is in the house. Glad Unky Joe survived Thanksgiving. Let me adjust this mic a little bit. There we go. Quick Tech Solutions in the house. Tony, I hope you and your family are doing well. Unky Joe, I hope the same for you. I don't see Joe Trelli here, but that's okay. We can have a good time with that, Joe. All right. So I'm going to pop up my web browser here. Maybe. And we're going to talk about tools. Now, one tool that I carry every day is the NetTool. And I've got one of the original ones. Actually, my original one, let me grab it. Is right here, and this thing has got fingerprints all over it. It has been dropped. It's been left in racks. This is the first one that I had, and then as they started coming out with newer models, then I got this one. So the plan is, some of this stuff I am going to put a shelf up here. We're going into town later. I'm going to actually put several shelves behind me. I'm going to move the camera back a little bit so you get a better shot of this. I'm going to add some lighting in the back and put some of these things that I use all the time up on the shelves behind me. But NetTool is a fantastic, fantastic piece of hardware. And I am currently working on a free certification class. You're going to be able to log into our LMS. You're going to be able to go through the standard NetTool, not the Pro yet. We're going to see how the standard goes. You're going to be able to go through, do a class, take a quiz, and get a certificate that says that you understand how to use this tool to help you troubleshoot networks. So I'm pretty excited about that. But the NetTool is something that I carry absolutely every day. So you will find this in my everyday carry bag along with some other tools. This thing has pulled me out of some crazy spots when you don't know what switch port you're plugged into, what switch you're plugged into. If you need Wi-Fi access, this can also be a little hotspot so you can get on the internet, see what's going on. It's just an all-around great tool. It can read the tag information. It can read, you can see right here on the screen, this can give you all of this information. And then the Pro version takes it a step further and actually adds network automation and things like that. So there's some other things coming I can't talk about because I am under NDA with them. But if you have a fleet of NetTools, I can tell you that you are going to be very happy about things that they have in store for the future. So if you go to NetTool and you want to buy a NetTool, I am going to give you, I know I'm not posting the link to this, but if you go to NetTool and you use the code WillyHow, you save 10%. And I think I do make I think I make 1 point or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but that is an affiliate link. But the important part about that is that it saves you 10%. So, all right, let's take a look at the comments. Yeah, Alonzo says the NetTool is a must-have for the IT toolbox, and I absolutely agree that the NetTool is a must-have for the IT toolbox. And Unky Joe says he got his, and that he can't wait to see how to use it. So, and he's going to get some coffee. But, yeah, if you don't have a NetTool, check it out. Save yourself that 10%. Yeah, and Tony says that he just got his. So Nathan over at NetTool did send, I had originally sent Joe Trelli one of my extra NetTools so that he could play around with it. I think he said he broke it. I think he said that the AWS cloud broke his NetTool. So that's a joke, by the way. But I think he was working with Nathan to get that fixed. And Tony says that he thinks he's just scratching the surface of what it can do. Bob Carpenter is interested to see what everybody else thinks. I probably do have a little bit of a bias because I've been using this for so long. I am an affiliate, but I think it's just a great tool. If you don't have a NetTool and you're in the field working on networks, this is great. And Bob says that he does have he's got a pocket Ethernet too. So really the thing for me that the pocket Ethernet, and this is pocket Ethernet, I'm going to do a video on this here relatively soon. I've got a bunch of stuff laid out here to start doing more videos. The one thing that the pocket Ethernet does that the NetTool doesn't yet do is it does it tones, right? So it's a toner. And it can do some wire mapping and things like that. So it's got some other functionality. But I've got to do a video on that pocket Ethernet. So that's the first thing. And like I said, I would have been lost sometimes without that NetTool. So go check them out. The next thing that we are going to look at is, and I should become an affiliate for Home Depot. In fact, I think I tried to become an affiliate for Home Depot, and this was when I had like 10,000, 15,000 subscribers, and they just outright, flat out denied me. But I picked this bag up yesterday, and what this is I like to have my tools. So for right now, I'm actually using a bucket buddy, and it's nice, but it's in a 5-gallon bucket, and I think I've kind of outgrown it. When you walk into some place and you got a 5-gallon bucket with the bucket buddy, and I'm not putting up walls, I'm working on tech, maybe I've outgrown that a little bit. So I actually switched and picked up one of these Husky tool backpacks. It's a 16-inch, so it's got enough room for me to stick a drill in here. You can put a drill, extra battery, charger, all the tools that I'm going to need, and a little extra. So I'm pretty excited to convert from my 5-gallon bucket over to this. Now, there are other brands of these tool backpacks. There's, I think, Milwaukee has one, Klein Tools has one, and Klein Tools makes awesome tools. In fact, I would say that most of the electricians that I know use Klein Tools. Their tools are really solid. They understand what folks in that trade need. And I absolutely love Klein Tools. So, but the reason that I bought this is because it meets my need, but it is inexpensive. This is not going to break the bank. It was only, $30 plus tax. So I'm going to get converted over this. I'll post some pictures on Twitter and Instagram once I get my tools converted over. I'll probably do that tomorrow. But I'm pretty excited about this. So then I have a bag my laptop and, my electronics, and then I have a bag for all of my other tools. Does anybody else carry one of these, or anybody else use a Bucket Buddy? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on that. Dave Smith says that he ended up going 5-gallon bucket to 2 Milwaukee pack-out boxes. Yeah, so right now, if you're looking at those Milwaukee pack-outs, those are also on sale. Let me pull those up real quick. I didn't go with those. Let me pull it up, though. Yes, we'll allow Home Depot to know where I'm at. Milwaukee actually has some very interesting stuff. Like, they actually have a coat that is heated, and you can it uses, I think, their 18 or their 20 volt battery. But yeah, here are those pack out boxes. I wasn't quite ready to spend the money on this. Everybody that I know that has these absolutely loves them. And I think maybe if I was doing larger physical installs, I would probably go for this, and I would probably do this. But right now, yeah, here's the pack out 22-inch modular toolbox storage system. So I just am not quite ready for that at the moment. Like I said, if we start getting more jobs where we need to carry more tools and things like that, this will probably be perfect. But you know what? While we're here, look at this. And if I did more outside work in the wintertime, I would probably consider this. But yeah, it's a Milwaukee men's M12 it's a 12 volt battery. They make it in a women's cut. They've got it in a men's cut, but it is heated. Yeah, look at this. So this is pretty interesting. I just don't do enough outside work that I think I would get much use out of this. Now, if I were going to continue to walk in the wintertime, which I probably should, this might be something that I would look at as well. So, because, sometimes the wind is really what gets you, right? The wind just cuts right through you, even when you're wearing a jacket. And this may help. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Does anybody have one of these? Let me know in the comments if you've got one of these. So let's go back to the tool. So there's the Husky tool backpack. This was a tool that I thought was pretty interesting, and I did pick a pair of these up. And what these are is, now I do have a set of Klein Tools wire strippers, and I love them. They feel good in your hands. They make quick work of what you're doing. But when I saw these, it's like a combination of plier, cutter, and wire stripper. And so I picked these up to try them out. And yeah, they're about $13. So we'll see. They call it a 6-in-1. A 6-in-1. So long nose, pliers, needle nose, can be used as a spanner. You can strip 8 to 18 gauge solid and 10 to 20 stranded. Heat treated side cutting blades for cutting wires. It does have the nice ergonomic grips. So, and Husky is Home Depot's store brand. And, there's not anything really wrong with the store brand. I think it depends on how much you use your tools and things like that. So getting into a debate about tools is like getting into a debate about Rivian versus Tesla, Ford versus Chevy, so it's one of those, things. Let's see. I'm looking over at the comments. And James says he uses a Husky bag. Yep. Justin Ware says he uses ye old plastic tub. Bob Carpenter says the only drawback with the Klein tools, I had to buy an adapter to use the Q-bit hole cutter with it. So Bob, I didn't know that Klein made a tool that the Q-bit would work on. You have to let me know for sure what the model number, part number is on that. Alonzo Smith says I purchased a $5.97 Husky tool bag plus a bucket. Yeah. And Tony uses a set of the Milwaukee the Milwaukee Packouts. And yeah, Tony, he says that they are modular. Yeah, and that's what's really nice about them. Michael Kerr says, do you think the IT job market will see an uptick after Rona? Michael Kerr, I'm not sure where you're at, but I think that the IT job market saw an uptick at the beginning of this, and that IT is now as strong as it's ever been, and there's as many jobs unfilled as there's ever been, if not more. I also think that the conversations that are coming after this are going to be the more difficult decisions than what people have had to make now, because companies are seeing that by using technology, do they need offices? Do they need, 5 accountants? Do they need, you know what I mean? So it's like, but technology is driving all that. So yeah, I see IT definitely staying ticked up where it's at. So Gibby says that he used to have the jacket. It lasted for a year. So did it just quit working? Did you accidentally destroy it? Gibby, what was the deal with your $200 heated jacket only lasting a year? Klein bags are the best. I have a double-sided one for 7 years and still going. Yeah. And Unky Joe says he reuses his Walmart plastic bags. I don't believe that, Unky Joe. Come on. That's hilarious. Let's pull up. Let's go back to the tools. By the way, I had a lot of people that complained about the bar, that I had at the bottom of the stream with it being so big and things like that. What do you think about the new bar? I saved it. I can change the Christmas tree out, like New Year's Eve. We can put something in there, all the different seasons, holidays, things like that. Let me know what you think about the bar at the bottom now. So, because I can put, streaming phone number down there and things like that. But definitely let me know what you think, and we'll get to that. Now, another brand that I really like, if you've seen pictures and things like that, is I really like Ryobi. And they're not Milwaukee. They're not DeWalt. And here's the thing. If you're going to buy something made in America, in fact, I don't even know if there are any power tools actually still made in the United States. So these guys who get on me about Milwaukee and DeWalt and all this stuff, no, those are not made in the United States. The closest you're going to get is probably Hilti. And I'm not sure Hilti makes the tools here anymore. I think they're made in Germany or something like that. But if you can afford to skip a mortgage payment to buy Hilti tools, or if you're in a trade where you need those higher quality tools, then absolutely go for that. But for what we do, the Ryobi stuff works really great. Now, I bought my Ryobi drills and everything several years ago, and they're still hanging in there. I did not get the brushless kits. I have the standard, and everything now is brushless. And if you want to know the difference between brush motors and brushless electric motors, just go to Google and do a search on that. Because even when I first read it, I was like, okay. But there are other people who can explain that, much, much better. Now, if you're looking to get into the Milwaukee drills and impact driver kit, their new one is the 1 Plus HP brushless. And these things, not only do they work great, but they look great. So I really like the look of these. And just, you can go to Home Depot and just put these in your hand and feel how they feel in your hand. I'm thinking about upgrading my driver and my drill to this HP kit. I'm thinking about it. I haven't pulled the trigger. And here's the thing, right? So my original drill that I've got, they're specifically talking to people like me that bought our drills years ago. You can see from this picture how much more compact the drill is, plus it's brushless, and it's 20% lighter. So, and they also have that for the impact driver. So I don't see anything wrong with Ryobi. They do really good. There's a YouTuber out there who I think his channel's Wrangle Star or something like that, but he set up this test basically where he put these drills head to head, and like the Milwaukee, I think, like made the motor smoke on another one. And anyway, he got a bunch of views off of that. But I'm not putting these drills against each other and things like that. I'm putting screws in, I'm putting lags in, things like that. So they work for me. And if you've used Ryobi, and here's the thing, if you make a million products, you're going to have some that go bad. that's just how it is. They're electronic components, and that happens. This is actually, in my opinion, a really good buy. You get so you get the 2 tools, and you get 2 1.5 amp hour batteries, charger, and bag. So you get all of this for $139. I think it's a pretty good deal. I'm still like I'm teetering on it, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I think if you're just getting in, you're looking for something like this, it works really, really great. So let me know what all you use in the comments. We'll switch back over to the comments and see what everybody's using. Unky Joe says, okay, everybody is saying, okay, first of all, Gibby says that his Milwaukee coat just quit working. Gibby, does this have a warranty? I haven't bought one, so I don't know. Is there like a 1 year, 2 year, 3 year warranty, something like that? And everybody is saying that they like the new bar a lot better, that it is much less intrusive. So that's good. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 more cameras to the stream. This main one's going to get replaced with my DSLR, my Canon M50, and then I'm going to use both of my Logitech webcams for overhead cams and shooting on other things. So I want to get this finished. I want to move the desk out. I've got to get a chair. So that's another thing. I'm on the hunt right now for a chair for the office. So that's something else. I'm going to drag my wife all around town looking for a good deal on an office chair that is going to be, in my desk. I can sit or I can stand. So I think because the point is, you've got a home office and you definitely want to start using it instead of working out of the back room all the time. There's some equipment that's going to have to stay there. That's where the UPSs are, the electrical mains are. That's where we're going to end up running all of our Ethernet to and things like that. So a lot of that stuff will stay in there, and I'll probably just have fiber that comes into the office, hits a rack, and we'll do our rack things from the office. All right, so back to the comments. Gibby says that year we had some pretty cold weather, plus using 8 hours a day probably wasn't meant for that. Yeah, so you could have definitely taken that device past its usefulness. Dave Smith says it's off topic, but Home Depot has really good appliance deals going on. He's doing a renovation and got a kitchen package yesterday at 45% off. However, because of the backlog of everything that's happening right now, he will not get his delivery until February. So yeah, we're looking, not specifically, we're not doing a remodel or anything like that, but we're on the lookout for a cheaper refrigerator for our garage. We've got one now, but it's super old. The seals are busted, so it's probably costing us a boatload of money to run it. So we're going to swap out that garage fridge with something low cost. So we're on the prowl for that too. I don't know if that'll happen this year or not. But all right, back to the comments. Unky Joe says he likes DeWalt, or as they are also called, Black & Decker. I prefer DeWalt because the batteries seem to last longer. And that's the thing. A lot of these tools are all made by the same company. So Alonzo says, I buy cheap tools from Harbor Freight, drill works, building racks, etc. So Harbor Freight, their tools they're not horrible. They are very inexpensive. And there's actually some things that I'm looking at Harbor Freight, like solar panels and things like that. So we'll have to see how that shakes out. If I end up doing that, I'll definitely do a video on it. Languar Monkey says, Ryobi is my trusted brand for 8 years. Yeah, I mean, they've not ever left me in a lurch yet. But I'm also very, I make sure I keep batteries charged and things like that. Dave says he uses Milwaukee tools and really like them. Big thing is, yeah, definitely. So if you look at all of our tools, I have taken a Sharpie and I've written my company name on all of the tools, because that does happen. The more people you work with, the higher the propensity for your tools to walk off, and you don't want that to happen. Yeah, and Alonzo purchases DeWalt and Craftsman drills. So Craftsman, Sears sold Craftsman. Sears has been in financial trouble for a long time. And they sold off the Craftsman tool brand. I don't even think their hand tools come with a lifetime warranty anymore. Can anybody confirm that in the comments? So, yeah, you definitely have to label your tools. And I bought a really cool label maker because anytime we get systems in here to program, we label everything before it gets sent out. And so I bought a really cool Brother wireless label maker. So it's just this, like, I'll do a video on it, but it's just like this white box, and it hooks, it's Bluetooth or near field communication with your phone, and the label maker software is on your phone. You can get different sizes of labels, different colors. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, so the coat only has a 1-year warranty. Blaine says, I have the Ryobi drills used in wood shop. Also have the hedge trimmer, weed whacker, blower, palm sander, all work great. And that is the one problem with Ryobi, is that they have such a wide offering for the tools, is that you just, like, we've got the heat gun, we've got, you know, I bought anything that I need for the business to do whatever work that I'm working on. If it's Ryobi and I need it, like I probably have it, right? So not as many as some people, but I mean, anytime I need a tool, we grab it. Tony says that he mainly uses Milwaukee, but he has a DeWalt cable stapler, and it's awesome. Yeah, I don't have a cable stapler. We use the cable things that we use. I'll have to post a picture, but they're a piece of plastic with a screw, and so you just use a nut driver on your drill. You put the cable in it, and I actually bought some pieces of drywall to do some videos on some of this stuff, so that'll be coming. I don't know that if Home Depot has international shipping or not. Good morning, Joseph Johnson. And Dave thinks that Husky is the new Craftsman. It's very, very possible that that is the case. All right, let's hop back over to tools for your techie. All right, so I am a huge proponent of ongoing education. Huge proponent. If we stop learning, we don't get any better, and we age out. We do, all kinds of things happen, right? So one of my 2021 things that I am going to do, and it'll happen fairly quickly within the year, is I'm going to get my CWNA certification. And right now, if you are looking to get CWNA certified, their bundles, if you use the code Black Friday, their bundles are 35% off. So if you buy like the Test and Go bundle, or not this kitchen sink, holy cow, but you have to buy a bundle for the code to work. So this $299 bundle, if we go to this, you get this one doesn't have the study guide. So where's the one with the study guide? I think it's this one right here, $349. So this comes with the official study guide, a practice test, and an exam voucher for $349.99. If we add it to the cart, and then we apply this coupon code, let's see what happens. So you get a 35% discount. It takes off $122.50. So your total out the door is $227.49. In my opinion, for the training that you get, the certification that you get, this is worth every penny, especially if you're interested in wireless. Now, do you have to jump right to the CWNA? You don't. So they've got, let's see, they've got the Certified Wireless Specialist, which is the entry level. So this is basically your sales folks would take this, right? Or your entry level people. It's the CWS, Certified Wireless Specialist. That training for car dealers. If you're a car dealer, sorry, but you know, that feeling that you get. It is valid for 3 years. Now, the first 2 certifications in the track, and we're going to talk about these, can be done online from your home. So the voucher is $150, and it is an online exam, and you can do it from your house. The Certified Wireless Technician is for people who install APs based on a design document, configure the AP for initial operations, ensure connectivity. It can also be taken as an online exam. Now, once you start getting into these other ones, like the Certified Wireless Network Administrator, these cannot be taken online. These have to be taken at an official Pearson VUE testing center. So, and that is where somebody is physically there that proctors the exam for you. So I will look to be moving through this in the first quarter of 2021. I will obtain this certification. And then who knows what I'm going to do next. You know, I don't know if I'm going to do the Certified security professional, the design professional, the analysis professional. It would be awesome to eventually work my way up to the CWNE. We'll just have to see how things play out. It is definitely something that I'm not going to rule out. And I like the fact that you have to have the ongoing training, the ongoing certification, the continuous learning. So the CWNA is valid for 3 years. To recertify it, you have to pass a professional level before, or you can retake the CWNA. So you can just keep climbing up the ladder. But if you were on this, the new test is the 108. The 107 retires at the end of this year. So if someone you know is interested in this certification, you can get that bundle. $100 and some odd off. Where's our card at? And yeah, $122.50. So let me put that in the chat real quick. So if you're going to do the CWNA, is Black Friday, and that'll get you that 35% off. Worth every penny, in my opinion. Let's take a look at the comments real quick. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So speaking of DeWalt, I don't know if you've been at Home Depot or you've been somewhere that sells DeWalt, but they've got like USB-C cables, they've got Apple cables, they've got headphones, they've got all kinds of accessories now. It's very interesting to me. They've got charging banks and all kinds of stuff. It's very interesting to see the evolution of these things as you get these like traditional tool manufacturers into the mix on this stuff. So Daryl says that he has the heated DeWalt jacket, and it was great for installing cameras 20 feet up utility poles and 20-mile-an-hour winds in 20-degree weather a couple Decembers back. He says it has a lot of layers. It was just good to have a heat source for spending 4 hours outside. Sure. And Unky Joe says it's cold here today. Only 56 degrees and raining finally. So now Unky Joe can collect his rainwater for his homemade moonshine. And it's not illegal if you drink it yourself, as long as you don't sell it, right? Isn't that the deal? Now, I'm obviously not a lawyer, so don't listen to that. But yeah, we are at 34 degrees right now. We're going to have a high of 54. We're going to get down to 32 tonight, high of 49 tomorrow, and then highs in the 30s all week. So fall and winter are definitely on their way here. All right, back to gifts for your techie. So CWNP, I'm going to be picking this up probably later tonight, so I can get started reading and things like that. So, and maybe I'll create videos as I go along, and you can learn with me, because I'm 101% sure there are things in here that I'm going to learn from. I'm going to be able to take them, think about them, and it's always good to have that official training. All right, so if you or someone you know are looking to get a small form factor device that can run OpenSense, pfSense, Untangle, ESXi, Windows, pretty much any version of Linux, the Protectly is a fantastic device, and I've worked with them, and this does come with OpenSense. Excuse me, I got a tickle in my nose this morning. This does come pre-installed with OpenSense. If you buy one of these, reach out to me, and they may have started doing it. I'm actually going to redo the configuration that's on there, because I sent them a configuration for this, and I'm going to change the default LAN subnet, but it's got a default username and password. It forces you to change the password upon login, and you get a special price. You get it for $289 instead of $302, and it has 8 gigs of RAM, 64 gig SSD, which should be more than enough room for any of your Firewall software. Now, they also have another kit. You can check out the Willie Howe Partner stuff. They've got one that comes with the rack mount kit, which I'm going to show you in an upcoming video, and it also has a UPS that is specifically designed for the Protectly device. So that's coming up. I really love these little devices. I've been working with them. If you've seen the pictures where I painted the 568B standard on these cooling fins. It does not affect the cooling that I have found, but I ask the CEO of Protectly, hey, can I get custom colored boxes? And he said, sure, but you got to buy it's an insane amount of these at a time. And as always, I don't stock any of this kind of stuff. I always refer you over. And then we only make money if you do consulting with us. So, and I'm probably actually going to throw several other configs at them. I want to talk to them, and I'll make the configs actually available for download from my website, where you have multi-WAN with failover, load balancing, all that good stuff. So, that'll be available. All right. The next tool I want to take a look at is the /dev/mount. So if you saw my last video, I don't even know what to say about this thing. This thing, like I said in the video, is like click nuts and rack studs had a baby, and it is actually amazing. And on the video, somebody actually asked me, they're like, well, how do you take it out of the rack? You can see that this feller's finger is behind this right here. You actually just push on the back, and you have to apply pressure. It's not like you just touch it, but you apply pressure to the back and it actually pops open. It's so beautiful. So I'm developing a partnership with the US based distributor for them. They have sent me a few other things, but if you have not checked out /dev/mount, go check out that last video that I did. There's contact information in there. I saw all kinds of people were ordering these, and they are fantastic. Let's go back to the comments. Unky Joe said he went blind. He went blind last week for an hour. That must be from the moonshine. But Blaine says, where in the USA are you, Willie? I'm in Peoria, Illinois, if you know where that's at. Home for now of Caterpillar Incorporated. We are, when people ask me, I just tell you I am 50% of the way between Chicago, Illinois, and St. Louis, Missouri. And then most people are like, oh, but if you've ever heard the saying, like, will it play in Peoria? That came from Peoria, Illinois, because it used to have such a diverse population that if they would bring a show back in the day, like I think and somebody correct me on if the history on this is wrong, but back in the vaudeville days, if it would play in Peoria, they would say it would play anywhere. So if you've ever heard that term, will it play in Peoria? Now, Peoria is kind of going back to this thing now. So medical, once Caterpillar pulls out and is gone, which who knows how much longer they've got here. They already moved their they've already moved their headquarters up to, I think, Deerfield, but I'm under no illusion that Caterpillar is going to be sticking around the Peoria area forever. And so medical is actually stepping in, and medical is huge here now. And so there's a lot of things about Peoria that's changing. So now people are starting to fall back on the Whiskey City, because Peoria used to make huge amounts of whiskey. And so now we're talking about Peoria as the Whiskey City, and it's kind of cool. And Joe from Cajoling Technologies is in the house. Joe, I already talked about how AWS broke your NetTool. So if you want to let people know in the comments about that. Joseph Johnson says, is it straightforward to get hardware for reviews like you do, or just kind of contacted because of YouTube reach? So it depends. So some of the things that I get, I'm not necessarily... people don't contact me. Sometimes I reach out. So like I saw that /dev/mount had a free trial pack. So you don't have to be a YouTube reviewer. You don't have to be a social media reviewer, anything like that. Anybody can go get their own trial pack of /dev/mount. So I did that. And I was so impressed with the product that I did a video on it. And now it started this relationship. So these things kind of happen organically. So, and let me see if I can pull up. So the relationship is going pretty well so far. And the reason that I say that is because now we are actually talking about some other things. And can I rotate this? Let me rotate this video. Rotate. For some reason, my camera When I took this picture, let's see. Oh, here we go. Done. Done. Okay, so let me go back to, let me bring this up. So people have been like, hey, have you tried setup.exe? And so they were so happy with that video, and they never asked me to do the video. Like, a lot of times I will bring really cool things to you because I think they're useful. I think they're helpful. And I actually had a viewer reach out, and if you go and you look at the comments of the /dev/mount video, and I probably have a bias here because I think that people with disabilities should be able to have a fair shake, just like anyone else. And so the commenter said that, he has some physical limitations, and between the setup.exe, the patchbox, and the /dev/mount, that even with his physical limitations, he is able to install things in a rack. And I think that is beautiful. So people asked me, are you going to try I got to flip over because I'm not sure what's before or after that, the setup.exe. So what I'm going to do is, yes, I am going to try the setup.exe because they sent me one, and that's how happy they were with the video. And so I'm really happy that they were happy. And so now we're going to try this thing out. It looks very cool. It can handle 15 kilograms, which is over 30 pounds. So this is just a couple shots at it. Then they also sent a patch box demo kit. And this is what the patch box looks like. So you're going to get to see all of this. I am absolutely going to try all of these things out. Let's see what other pictures I've got here. Oh, yeah. So there were some other things. I'm just making sure that there's no like pictures that have any like overly personal information in them or things like that. So here's the setup for the patch box. So a lot of people will say, well, you don't need the patch box and you don't need all this stuff. But I'm going to tell you, like, the utility of the patch box, a tool that is designed to help avoid being on the worst server room list, it's really not that expensive. And if you're building a brand new server room, I mean, it is really not that expensive. Yesterday, I was also looking at these. They had these on sale, a 2-pack. Leviton USB charger tamper-resistant outlet. So they have 2 USBs on there to charge your phones, and these were only $20. So has anybody used these? Because I want to know before I buy them, are these any decent? And are they decent? And I want to know from, reviews online sometimes are very difficult. And then if you follow me, or you're in some groups on Facebook that I'm in, the Ubiquity Unify Professionals, this happened for absolutely no reason. I haven't touched my UDM Pro in over a week, and then it just does this thing. Anyway, we got to get back. We got to get back on track. Let me hop over to the comments real quick. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, Dave Smith says, holy cow, just watched the /dev/mount video. Super cool, going on my list for Christmas. And that's one of those things that you can throw in your tool bag, and you're going to have it with you, and you come up against a square post rack. A lot of people have also commented that they use like a pre-drilled rack. Well, if you've ever used a pre-drilled rack in the field, you'll know that sometimes those things are screwed up, right? And so I'm actually going to put another link here, or another, let's see. I don't know. If you're having problems with your rack, your pre-drilled rack, then you need a tap and die set, and that way you can rethread the holes and things like that. Or you could just be crazy and use an impact wrench and just shove the bolts in. But I don't think that's the way to go. But DeWalt's got a tap and die set. You can get a tap and die set just about anywhere. But then you could actually rethread the holes on the rack, which instead of then ruining screws, cross-threading them, and just creating a mess for the next person, just do it right. You know, tools make you better. And that's the thing. That's one thing that I will tell you, part of growing and part of becoming, part of growing and learning is that, I used to not use the proper tools. I was like, oh, I'm in a hurry and I don't have this tool and I don't want to spend the money, until you realize how much better your job comes out, how much more professional it is, how much better the end product is, how much it lasts, how much longer it lasts if you use the right tools for the job. So your shop teacher was right. Not everything is a hammer. And I know it's a joke and it's funny to laugh at all that stuff, but just do yourself a favor. And especially if you're in business, you can write tools off because you have to have tools for business. So, talk to your accountant. I'm definitely not an accountant, but just buy the right tools and seriously be done with it. No square holes in round pegs. And this is actually not a bad price. So this is a Husky set. All right, so back to the tools. So yeah, so even if you just go get the demo kit of these and throw them in your bag, you'll have them. And then you won't. I mean, you saw how easy I was able to mount that and that edge switch is not light. And then also, though, on the list, I did add the rack studs because, you can keep a handful of these in there as well, because I do think that they're a good product. And if you have, if you keep some of these in there, these are inexpensive enough that you can keep them in there. And if you run into a situation, you can use them. And I have some of these that we're going to be giving away coming up in the next few weeks. So let's go back over to the comments before we move on real quick. And a lot of these things, you're going to be able to keep them in your bag. You're going to be able to keep them in your tool bag, have them with you. If you run into a spot, you're going to be able to have the right things to do the jobs right. Let's see. I do not. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. So Dave Smith says that he has the outlets with the USB and he likes them. Unky Joe says, I use those here at the house and they work great. Gibby says the Leviton work well. Alonzo Smith says, yes, installed over the kitchen counter. So I think I'm going to pick up a 2-pack of those and install them. Probably install them in the living room and see how they work out. And I do not prefer a pre-drilled rack. I prefer the rack that has the square holes. And Unky Joe says, sorry, the Setup EXE is another set of hands. Yeah, and it absolutely is. And, it can hold, 15 kilograms in pounds. 15 kilograms to pounds is like 33 pounds, right? So that Setup.exe is rated to hold 33 pounds of gear while you get it installed. And the patch box is, the patch box is great too. It keeps you organized, and what's wrong with that? I don't know. I think sometimes people like to set stuff up so that they think that they're the only ones that can work on it. And we don't operate like that at all. If you are designing solutions and setting things up so that you're the only person that can work on them, you are going to have a rude awakening once people figure out what you're doing, because that is not, in my opinion, any way that you should operate. Bob Carpenter says, one-way cross-threaded rack. Yep, you can set it up once, have fun taking it apart. That's exactly right. Blaine says, I worked in telecom for my whole life. I watched 2 guys punch down jumper wires on a 66 block with a screwdriver. I have seen that as well. So we gave up. Dave Smith, we did give up our Costco membership. We are members at Sam's. And it's not that we don't like Costco. It's just that the proximity of our house to Sam's Club and our way to and from work, it makes much more sense for us to go to Sam's Club. So I'll have to check that out and see if they've got that there. So Unky Joe says he uses the Leviton plugins at their charging station in the dining room. Interesting. And he just ordered a Samsung A7 tablet on a Black Friday sale to replace my aging iPad. Wait a minute, Unky Joe, does that mean the original iPad, like the thing that was like this big and weighed 15 pounds and like you could like hit it with somebody with it? Like, is that what that was? So yeah, I've got an original Kindle Fire that is still chugging along, and if that dies, then maybe I'll look at a different thing. But the plan is to take my CWNA book as a PDF, and I think it comes as a PDF. I'll have to see. If it comes as a physical book, that's even better because I like to have books in my hands. But being able to carry 50 books around with you, not practical. If I'm at home, relaxing, things like that, maybe. But all right, let's go back to. I'm glad you're all with me this morning. I hope you're all safe, healthy, happy. All right, so the other thing that I want to talk about that you can throw in your bag is Flex Glue, Flex Seal, the Flex Seal line of products. And if you've never seen the Flex Seal, Flex Glue line of products, and I actually was going to make a funny joke about to show you the power of Flex Glue, I fixed what should have been a solder job, right? But we had a little bit of a leak. So we have a copper pipe, and the previous owners, I'm not sure where the other pipe was going, but they remodeled and they cut this pipe and they capped a copper pipe with a PVC end. And recently, when the kids are using the bathtub in their bathroom, then it has started leaking around that. So I bought Flex Glue yesterday and I sealed it. So we're going to see exactly how well that holds. If it holds, I've used some other glues, by the way, like the Gorilla Glue super glues are amazing as well. So any of this stuff that comes in a small tube that you can keep in your bag to do quick repairs. Wait a minute, what was that they were repairing? And look at this guy. This guy's repairing his boot with it, and I have absolutely no doubt that it'll work. And this is one of those tubes that's small enough. Yeah, you just stick it in your bag, and you've got it. And if you've got to do a repair on the job, and the price is right, and and it can be applied hot, cold, wet, and dry. And another thing, if you've not seen Phil Swift, the guy who invented the Flex line of products, and you've not seen his videos, they are highly, highly, highly entertaining. And if you want to, sit back with an adult beverage when it's nighttime, wherever you're at, and you want to laugh a little bit, pull up the Flex stuff. But I mean, the stuff works, and you can go out to YouTube and you can find other people going, does this really work? And they do videos, and the stuff, like, they surprise themselves because the stuff really works. So, all right, back to our list. Now, I have a podcast that I've got. I'm going to be releasing 2021. Was supposed to happen this year. Best laid plans and all that. And I'm also looking at possibly making my setup more mobile than it would be with the Rodecaster. The Rodecaster that I have is an awesome piece of studio gear. I do have the travel box for it. But I'm looking at something that maybe I can help other people get into content creating as well. Something that you can do, stay socially distanced, all that stuff, because I think that's going to last for a while. But where we can go out, we can take the product, and we can help people create content as well. And so this actually came out this year. It's the Zoom PodTrack P4 4-input podcasting setup. It's $199. Now, and Sweetwater, by the way, is my preferred. I don't have an affiliate link. I do. I actually signed up with them, but I haven't been putting it on anything. But Sweetwater is my preferred audio supplier. And they also have this kit where you get the Zoom dynamic mic, a pair of cans, and the recorder for $299. And so you actually save like $20. This is actually a really good deal. So I do a lot of research before I just buy something like this blindly, because for me, $199.99 is a lot of money. But I'm trying to do it as an investment. And so if you go out and you watch the YouTube videos on this thing, it's getting very positive reviews. You can see here, it's got 2 reviews. It's got 5 out of 5 stars. It allows you to take phone calls. You can hook into a phone. It does multi-track recording, so you can edit and post. And it has the sound pads. I think that you can do 16 pre-recorded sounds. It does provide phantom power. So if you're going to use a mic like the Shure SM7B that it needs a lot of gain, you don't have to use a cloud lifter with this. and you can, I mean, it's small, it's portable, it runs on, you get 4 or 6 hours of runtime out of 4 AA batteries, or you can power it. There's your XLR inputs. There's your mic outputs. You can power it with USB-C. That is beautiful. And it actually doesn't look like it's much bigger than this, than the Zoom V3 vocal processor that I have. Now, unfortunately, this cannot be powered with USB-C. I wish they would have put USB-C power on this. We were in the middle of working on the Tech Quartet, and the batteries went dead on this, so I'm going to have to hardwire this in. But I was asking my guy, by the way, if you go to Sweetwater, ask for Austin. I'm going to put this in the chat. So if you go to sweetwater.com and you ask for Austin, Austin is my sales rep, and he would be more than happy to help you out. Now, I asked him because right now I'm using the Rode Pod mic, and I love this mic. It's tiny, and somebody said if I wanted to make it sound like the Shure SM7B is to just put a wind filter over the top of it, and it sounds pretty much just like it. Well, I also have the Rode Procasters, and these mics, in my opinion, are better than the Shure SM7B. But you can see, compared to even the Pod mic, how much bigger this is, right? So this is something I'm going to leave mounted in my studio all the time. The Pod mic is mobile. But with this deal with Zoom, they've got this mic, and I asked my guy, like, okay, what does this sound like compared to the Pod mic? And he said that it is so, you can't, like, if you close your eyes, you really can't tell the difference. So you could really get up and going right here. One person. Now, if you've got a computer, you've got all the tools, and you've got a microphone, you probably have all the tools that you need to start a podcast. So and the hardest part about starting anything, whether it's a YouTube channel, whether it's a podcast or whatever, is actually getting started. That is absolutely the hardest part, because we're all afraid of what people are going to say, what the comments are going to say, what people are going to think about us. But if you want to create content, the hell with that, and just do it, and just start doing it. Concentrate on your audio first, and that's something that I learned the hard way. You got to have good audio. People will forgive you for bad lighting as long as they can hear you. So I think that this is a really good deal. This is something that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about pulling the trigger on this. This is something that you can hook a phone in directly with USB, or they've got a Bluetooth dongle that can be plugged into this to do Bluetooth to your phone. And, if you or someone wants to start a podcast this holiday season, great pricing. Great pricing on this. Save $20 when you do the bundle. I'm so close to pulling the trigger on this. This is everything that comes with the kit, right? So you get a stand for the mic. Oh, look at this. This comes with the windscreen. That's interesting. And Best Buy actually has this, and I'm going to Best Buy later to check out. So... to check out a Ring doorbell. I know, don't scream at me yet. But I'm going there to actually physically look at this thing. So they actually have one of these at stock in my local Best Buy. So I may take a look and see if I can just get my hands on it and see before I order it, if it's something that I really want to do. But if everything that I've read about this device, everything I've watched has been nothing but positive. So, and you can also use it as an interface to your computer. That's the other thing. So, and you can also do that with the Rode Procaster, but it is a little bigger, but it is software defined and has a lot of great things going on for it. And it's got, and it's my choice for the small studio. Now, I don't know how I'll feel about this if I do it, but it's one of those things, that I'm definitely thinking about. Let's go back over to the comments and see where we're at. Yeah, Blaine says, Unky Joe, it is not recommended to use glue and moonshine at the same time. And yes, Tony, I enjoyed watching Unky Joe's cooking video as well. All right, back to the comments. Tony says, audio sounds awesome, Willie. Whatever settings you have dialed in, keep them. Yeah, I don't move the slider on this. After we got this figured out, was it last week? People were all over it. But yeah, this Rode pod mic is absolutely amazing. If I take calls, we've got the Audio Technica cans that comes in. And this is actually the interface that I use anytime you see me here. So, yeah, smash that like button for sure. Somebody says your studio needs better lighting and a background. What's with that white wall? So this wall is actually not white. It's actually a baby blue. So I need a different camera for this. And the lighting is actually much better than it used to be. And so, yes, if you came in late, I was talking very early on in the stream about how this weekend I am changing my office. We're going to have a camera that's on the whiteboard over here, the dry erase board, whatever you want to call it, over here. I'm going to put some shelves up. We're going to Hobby Lobby to look for shelves so I can put some things behind me. I'm going to get a chair so I can sit down. So let's see. I am sorry, Virus Networks. Let's see. Virus Networks. Not seeing where you asked any questions. That's okay. Unky Joe says, is that glue sniffable? I could have a dual use if so. I don't recommend sniffing glue, but it's your body. So, but you don't do it on my recommendation. All right, let's see here. Back to the comments here. Quick Tech Tony over at Quick Tech says $169 for the Ring Doorbell Pro, $80 savings right now. Yeah, so they've also got one for $69 that's battery chargeable, and that's the one that we're looking at. Also, Home Depot has the sale on that one for $169. You get a free Amazon deal that's got a 5-inch screen and all that, and I'm not really into that. Alonzo, do you have a link to the Hikvision doorbell that you can put in the link in the chat? Love it. Hit send too soon. Have HD Home Run and Plex. Get the one that has hardware encoding for sure. Unky Joe, we need to talk because I've got a lot of people that use the Plex for live TV. And I've got a lot of people. I got about 3 or 4 different ways that people have said, you know, hey, do this, get this antenna, get this device, and you can do all those things and get rid of, you know, some of your. I'm very interested in that, and it's something that I want to create a video on, but I need to understand it first. Yes, Jacob Johnson, you're correct. My background does need some racks. I agree with that. Josh Black says, holy overalls Batman. Josh Black, let me see. I think I might have beard envy. You're looks like you've got a nice beard. Yeah, I am wearing overalls this morning. I'll probably just throw a sweatshirt over them and wear them all day. And Dave Smith says, had a Tableau before migrating. Love the Plex setup and use it remote quite a bit at the cottage, and it works great. Love to watch TV there as there's no antenna. Interesting. And Tony says, be careful with the battery-operated Ring doorbells. There was just a recall due to catching on fire. And what I'm wondering is if that's the ones that are on sale now or if they've fixed that problem. I don't know. HD Home Run. So Jacob Johnson, I'm going to say it again, man. You should come up with some instructions for your, you know, some videos and stuff for your smart home and things like that. Because it sounds like you've got it figured out. So people email me. Please email me and let me know, what do I need to do so that we can get one of these over-the-air recorders, and so that we don't have to have Hulu Live or whatever it is, or Sling Live or whatever. That's awesome. I'm definitely super duper interested in that. All right, Virus Network says, I have a question regarding Cat 5e that keeps giving me 100 megs no matter what distance and no matter how many successful tests I ran on it. Re-terminate the ends. That's the first thing, and make sure that you're in a that you're in a standard on each end. That's the first thing that I would do. Yeah, so So James says that he uses an HD home run with an antenna for Plex for live TV. And Unky Joe is going to be doing an updated video. So that is absolutely fantastic. So I want to thank you all for joining me here this morning. I'm glad that you did. I hope you got to see the tools that we were talking about. I hope that if you need tools, you're definitely getting those, or for the techie in your life, those tools. I want to thank you for being here with me today. I don't know if my affiliate links are down below, if they are or not. If they are, you can use them. Don't feel that you have to. If you're going to buy a NetTool, remember to use that Willie Howe code. If you need consulting, go down to williehowe.com, fill out that contact form. Once again, I do want to thank all of you for being here. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.